Hey guys, let's talk pizza, let's talk shared trauma, let's talk about new babies, and let's talk about GPL1. Hey guys, welcome. I'm Tracy. This is my channel, Tracy from the Mermaid Cove, the Cove, and I have survived the flu. I am still, y'all. I'm gonna rest today. My friend said I felt like I wasn't being productive. She said, well, healing and resting is productive. So I'm going to have a good balance. But because I haven't felt good and I've been working full time, I just made sure I had food, clean clothes, you know, so there's a lot of debris to clear out. And I'm going to kind of start towards my decluttering. And so, yeah. That's what's happening on. Got a little bit of laundry. Been trying to keep up with my laundry this year because it can so overwhelm me. Plus, as I'm letting go of clothes that are too big for me, I think I have 3 pair of pants right now that fit me decently. I work 5 days a week. So, and I'm kind of hard and spill and stuff like that. Though a couple pairs I get away with twice. So anyway, I am having some breakfast. So, for my ADHD's, yep, that makes me say words like cove instead of cove or whatever I said. But anyway, I got this Cheez-It pizza, and it was on sale, y'all. I love my frozen pizzas on sale. So, I'm going to say I'm not a fan. I wouldn't buy it. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, this is older because I saved it to show you. But the crust, this Cheez-It crust, I mean, granted, I don't have the best taste. I wouldn't say that it tasted like Cheez-It to me. I mean, kids would probably like it. The marinara sauce, what there was of it, just wasn't tasty, you know, and I kind of zhuzh up and throw things on it. But I'm probably throwing away half of it, which is fine because I'm not going to eat something like that I don't really love. But yeah, it's Cheez-It pizza. Excuse me, goodness me, this dry hack and cough. Yeah, I wouldn't get it again. It's okay, I tried it. But last night coming home, there's just so much, right, going on. And I do believe in shared grief. I'm not sure what else word to call it. Shared anger. You know, the world, I can't. We'll just say the word Minnesota. And, you know, yesterday at work, someone would just say that to me, and that's all we could say. It's just, you just don't know what to do, right? But I will say this, you know, I've been watching the monks walking from Texas. And if you haven't seen it, just Google monks walking for a peace. They're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're on the news. And what's interesting is, you know, Buddhism, which is I've been drawn to for a long time. There's a really good book called Living Buddha, Living Christ by Thich Nhat Hanh, and he's my favorite monk. And it was a comparison, right? It's just a fascinating book. If you're interested in all Buddhism, you don't know a lot about it, it is a really good book to start with. But I just, Thich Nhat Hanh, again, is just an amazing human being. And his writings speak to me. Here he is, a Vietnamese monk, been through hell. Hell on earth. Hell on earth. Now, you imagine how we feel right now with what's going on in No Control. Imagine being in a small village in Vietnam and everyone wiped out. Or specifically targeting monks and monasteries and... But I remember, I'm pretty sure it was him, but the way my brain is right now, which is what it is. We love our brains. You know, he said once, somebody asked him, like, how can you be peaceful when other countries, you know, hurt so many people? And he said, you know, they can have my life, but they can't have my mind and my heart. That's mine. And, so as they're walking from Texas to DC. I worry it's getting colder. They're getting into colder. Like the last couple of days have been beautiful around here, but we're ready, we're ready to hit some cold weather again, i.e. being January. And yeah, it's a lot. And some are walking barefoot, which I'm sure monks have done for eons. I mean, this is what monks have always done, to walk for peace. And it's powerful. And I don't know, when I watch it, it's overwhelming to me. I feel very emotional. And it's reminded me about meditation. And I think what's so interesting about this, because they don't ever use the word meditation that I've heard. I mean, I'm not obsessed with every single thing. I'm not allowing myself to be. But he was talking about how people want to walk with him, and you can. You can sit, close your eyes, and just visual, however you want to do it. You can feel the earth in your feet. You can feel what the weather feels like. You can hear the sounds, what are the smells like? And it's a great way to ground yourself. And I've made up to 10 minutes so far, which is really good for me, because it's quiet the mind, right? Is apparently my lifelong goal. So it has got me back into meditation. And I didn't mention the word meditation, just said walk with us, And they are going to be in DC. I was talking to someone. I don't think I'm going to go. Number one, there's going to be chaos and commotion, and I don't like that. I don't navigate that well, But also, I feel I am with them, right? I don't feel separated from them. I don't feel like I need to touch them or see them in person. I feel I am there with them in person. And that, I can't explain it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you can be Christian and Buddhist. I mean, the idea about suffering, right? Like, things happen to you. When I was sick, and it was Christmas morning, and I'll have special food, and you're gonna be alone, and I got my kitty, I had Clara, and I wasn't starving. I had plenty of food, and I just thought, I really made a conscious decision to listen to uplifting things, to interesting things, that I had a choice. That I did not want to allow my brain to grab my emotions and put them down, and to feel sorry for myself. I might have had 10 minutes of that, But I also realized I'm not a child, and Christmas can be about many different things, and I'm still trying to redefine it for myself, or ease into it and figure that out for myself, and I haven't yet. But I just made a decision, and I could, and I'm thankful. But one of the most important things I did was practice gratitude all day long. One of the reasons why I'm sick, I put on Jane Austen, other than I love Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen, and, all of the above, and her snarkiness and humor. But I'm in a bed. I have heat. I have running water. I have Tylenol cold medicine. I can get water, coffee, ginger ale, whatever it is at my disposal. And, I think then, what people went through and lived. And my supervisor and I talk, like, I would love time travel as long as I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to, have bugs on me. I didn't smell. All that was glazed over, because really, y'all. So I really practiced, and I didn't realize I was really doing it until later, and I was thinking about it, that it was gratitude. Yeah. And it helped me, it didn't make my cold, maybe it made my whole flu go faster, not really, because it's just taking time, but it made my heart feel better, my spirit feel better. And so, it was a choice, and I'm, the gift of these venerable monks walking for peace, for me, is to connect again to meditation, to have quiet. And so anyway, I'd invite you to spend time with them, or check it out for yourself. And, I've read many, many books on meditation, and I still love reading them, but it doesn't mean that I meditate. And I am redefining that for myself, and I'm removing my judgment from that. Well, you're not doing it long enough. Why are you having so many thoughts? Like, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't you do it yesterday, right? And that's the stuff that will come up in your mind, right? And I think the lesson I've learned is that I cannot fault myself for that. Like, that's how your mind is going. That's the nature of the human mind. it's what you do with the thoughts, right? And that was huge for me, because to judge yourself for having these thoughts, I mean, you're never going to be okay. You're never going to have peace, because you have thoughts all the time. But choosing what to do with the thought. Do I grab that thought and like, oh, I'm by myself on Christmas and nobody loves me and I don't have anything, and run with that and make myself feel like shit emotionally and mentally, even though physically I felt that way? So it's interesting. It's really interesting. That has been one of the biggest shifts for me. And I find myself, like yesterday, I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't walk with the monks. Because I just, during the day, it was just one of those days. And, and I'm like, stop a second. Let's take some breath. And let's close our eyes. And if you do it for 1 second, maybe even the fact I remembered that was important and was meaningful. So yeah, it's just, I look back and I try to have compassion and loving kindness towards how hard I made things, right? Because you can't help it. And we live in a society that you're constantly told you're not enough. And if you don't buy this, you're not okay. If you're not making this much money, you're not okay. Like, why do you have that old phone? So to really have grown up enmeshed in that, and now trying to see, but I'm still, last night coming home, there's just so much, I had so many different emotions yesterday. I really wanted pizza. And my promise to myself is that you can have pizza. It's just, we're not going to have it on spur of the moment. Right. And I really hadn't eaten enough that day. And I also don't want to waste my food. So I had to talk with myself, a kind, loving talk, the way you would want your parents to have always talked to you. Right. And I just said, okay, you're stressed and you're feeling so many things, and that's normal. And, our normal thing, our groove is to get some kind of comfort food or something we like. And I said, at home right now, we have really good, frozen rice from Trader Joe's. I have this bag of beans that's flavored. I said, you have some steak that you need to eat in the next couple of days. You can cut that up, throw some cheese, a little sour cream, get some nachos, eat it. Oh my God, you love that kind of thing. And you have it. You're not spending 1 extra cent on it. And you're fulfilling your promise to yourself. And I'm getting a Walmart delivery today. I haven't had any food delivered this year, but I'm getting one today, and you can get a frozen pizza. Have that later. Yeah, it's going to be $8 opposed to $20. And you're listening to yourself, right? I think that is kind of like, sometimes like, well, I deserve a treat. Well, no, it's not that. It's you're listening. I deserve to listen to myself. For me, that's what it is. Listen to what that's about. You feel the need, like, I really want some new clothes, and I do. It's okay that I want new clothes. It's okay that. But I'm careful about I can't be on Instagram right now for many reasons, but everything or all of these clothes that I think I want. But the thing is too, like, I'm not at the size that I'm going to live at for a while, right? My goal right now is about 5 or 6 more pounds, because I am in between sizes, and I really would like to get to that next size and stay there for a while. In theory, before I die, I'd like to be 30 pounds lighter, right? But right now I'm focusing on 5 pounds and stay and hang out there. But why I don't want to buy to make myself feel better for clothes. And what I'm going to do is, when I do that 5, I'm going to go somewhere and try on clothes. And then when I thrift and stuff, I'll have because nobody wants to try on clothes thrifting. And I'll have a better idea. But I also thought what I might do is, like, so these jeans fit. I'm going to do the measurement of the waist and the hips. Same with the top. And then I can, measure at the place and do it that way. But I just have acknowledged that, before, like, again, I've talked about being overweight most of my life. When cute clothes came, I just can't get enough. Ravenous for clothes. And now I'm learning that I would prefer to have space. I would prefer to have things I really love. Like, I love this thing. I don't know why. I love it. It's big, but it's okay. It's fine. It's not that big. But in my closet, not as much as my shirt closet, but where I have things folded up, like sweaters, things like that, sweats, it is getting empty. And I'm very proud of myself, because most of that stuff is really big. And I have about 5 or 6 more things to share with you another time of what I'm letting go of. So it's a lot, I'm managing a lot, but I'm going to cry. It's a good cry. my niece had a baby. And she was in labor yesterday. And was so overwhelmed for her and myself, and just knowing the pain she was in. And you know, she's a little thing, and my friend's like, Tracy, people have been having babies forever, she's gonna be fine. And you know, many emotional things, like my mom would be just, I couldn't even describe my mom. You know, it's so interesting. My mom was many things in her life, as we all are, and mostly she was gorgeous most of her life. And as she aged, and she allowed herself to age, when she became a grandma, I think that truly was the happiest times in her life. And I think truly it's where she felt most herself. And I know in my heart, this baby just left my mother's arms. However that works in the other world. Maybe don't have arms, but I feel like his spirit was with my mother and all the other people that are connected to him and will love him from afar, and who've survived and lived so he can be born. I don't have a doubt in my mind, but it's just so emotional. And yeah. But anyway, he's here. It's a boy. I haven't gotten the official word that I just saw my niece texted me. What his name is going to be. Though it seems to be leaning towards Thomas. And he's almost 8 pounds. He's 20 inches long. And he's beautiful. I mean, he looks like a 2 to 3 week old baby. I mean, he just is gorgeous. And I looked at him and I saw my brother and my mother. His face is unbelievable. And I'm going to look for some photos today. And trust me, my brother, or my niece's husband, is not going to care that this baby's going to look like her. So, you know, those genes are strong, man. But yeah, so I'm just so happy and emotional. And it's such a world right now, right? And the world has always been like that. I think of people who survived the Holocaust and went and had children and families, and, you know, since the beginning of time. But yeah, so I'm just feeling emotional. I'm just letting myself feel emotional. You know, there's so much love in my heart, I almost can't contain it. And I always said that until my niece was born, I didn't know how guarded my heart was. And she kind of burst through that. And yeah, and this week really focusing on the monks, because who doesn't have a broken heart right now? I mean, a broken brain. I just don't know. Like, what do you do? I don't know. But for me, one of the things I try to do is find compassion and choose kindness instead of being right. I had a friend say to me, like, well, that, you know, that's the easy way out, or blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's not. Okay, you can't do it. It's not. It is very hard. And it's challenging. Sometimes it's more natural to me than it's not, because I've done this. I kind of was born this way. But I have a wicked tongue, and I have a wicked sense of humor, and I can, yeah. But, and sometimes it gets loose and I forget myself and move on. But majority of the time I try to choose to be kind and compassionate. And working with the public is a very important thing to do. You know, when someone's really angry and upset, I mean, your first thought is, you know, fight or flight, right? Like, you know, you freeze, right? And somebody had told me, a customer was upset with someone, that she's like a robot. And I thought, well, yeah, that's, of course, you're trying not to respond to absolutely what feels like an attack. I mean, this is at a library and we want world peace. But I know, and one of the things that the monks say over and over in their little things they put on Instagram, or, you know, there's talks, we're all the same. We're not different. I can experience crazy anger. We all, you know. But it's interesting. This is all over a small sum of money. But I had gotten bit by a dog, and my, I don't know, let me see. My throat, yeah. It's much better now. Can you see it? And I have a tiny bit of a scar. That will go away. But I had to go. I went to this Minute Clinic to get antibiotics and talk about rabies shots and all that. And so the antibiotics, I needed to get to work. You know, life doesn't stop because you got to do stuff like this. And I needed to get to work. And when I went to get the antibiotics, their computer's not working. And they're like, we'll just charge you this amount and then come back with this thing and we'll give you the difference. Because probably, it was like, I paid like, say, 20. I probably needed to pay 3. Come back. And she tells me, well, you had to do it within 2 weeks. I'm like, well, I don't remember anyone telling me that. And, you know, and she tried and it's like, no, that's it. And I thought, okay, am I going to become angry? And over $17. I can become angry and irate at these people who have a policy they have to follow that they did not make, but they have to enforce it. And I had a minute of becoming very angry. But just in general, I was tired. I was just so mad. I mean, my God, I've been bit by a dog. I was in the process of deciding if I had to get rabies shots. But I made the decision that if I want to deal with this, I will go higher in CVS. Because these people in front of me, she already felt so bad, right? And so went on my way. Another day, I was getting prescription. And she was there, and there's another woman who I really like too, who's part of that process for me. And they were like, hi, Happy New Year. And I just thought, wow, what a good decision I made. Like, they would be afraid of me or like, oh, she's, you know, where they did nothing wrong. Did someone tell me 2 weeks? Maybe. I was so panicked and upset. I could have not heard it. It's a dumb thing. My insurance is my insurance is my insurance. I haven't decided yet if I'm, you know, I'm going to pursue it or not because, you know, I got sick and everything goes on. But I was so proud of myself thinking about that when this other situation was going on and the woman cannot control herself. And the only thing I will say, I will not let anyone talk about another coworker in a negative way. You can talk about the incident and what you felt should have happened and what didn't happen. That's fine. But I will not let people talk about people that I work with because it's not okay. But I'm also in a position where I can do that in a kind, loving way. So I've been thinking a lot about this, you know, and also I believe the universe will bring me $17 in a different way, right? You have to make conscious decisions about things. But there is literally, when you go through the drive-thru at my CVS, I don't know how it is in the world now, but there's a sign that we will not tolerate violence and yelling and name-calling and stuff. And I just thought, wow. And I get it because, you know, God, insurance and this and that, and you're sick or you're frustrated, and people are just so frustrated and scared. You know? You always thought your children were going to do better than you. You know? And if they get an education, how are they going to pay off this education? I mean, it's just so much going on in the world. So I do think we're all alike, and we just are having different experiences. We all can feel the different. Have I ever felt murderous? Yeah, I really have. Not too often, but yeah, I have. I would never choose to act on it, but my brain lets me not choose to act on it. But anyway, so that's kind of, I've even noticed like people just snarky but when it's not personal and it's just, I feel like I'm watching theater sometimes. Like, wow, enter snarky over whatever woman, hungry, blah, blah, you know, like almost stage right. And, but that works for me in my brain. And I, you know, one thing I can do is entertain myself, but it helps me feel removed, right? And that's important for me, to be more of a witness instead of things happening to me. So, but, you know, we come back to this and I have no answers. I just have pain in my heart and I'm just trying to journal the fear and the anxiety and about that. And also I've been journaling this week about the fear and anxiety I had about my niece having a baby and about raising a child in this world. But once I would, you know, journaling is so important for me. It gets crap out of my head. And it gives me a space to think and to start choosing. So what I did is this week is I had that baby, my little soul, little spirit baby, and her little papushka. I don't know, it didn't really look like anything. And we were walking with the monks, and I was whispering into that little spirit, saying how amazing and how wonderful and how you will suffer and you will learn and you will grow. And we need all these lights coming into the world. We really do. And it's just, they're so perfect. Like, where did they come from? It's still amazing to me. But anyway, so it was very emotional. And I'm so thankful that she's fine, that the baby's fine, and that, I think they induced her. They put a balloon and popped her water, and then like she had the baby at 8. She had an epidural, thank God, for medicine. These people, I have friends who are like, I'm going to take, you know what? For thousands of years, people have suffered because they couldn't have aspirin or Tylenol or a pain pill or an epidural. What the hell is wrong with that, right? I mean, my God, I'm a big believer in not suffering that way. But, it's interesting. I also know, it's going to be a year next month. I have my arm operated on, my rotator cuff surgery. And thinking about all the fear before and me trying to control everything and even the 6 weeks, the world sort of exploded in my friends and community with government firings randomly because so many people I know either, have spouses that work for the government and work hard. It was a lot. So I just been reflecting on that. And I think the biggest thing I came from it was that I lived with that pain too long. I would constantly rub my arm, and I had been going to acupuncture and getting laser acupuncture massage for a few years so I could keep doing my job and tolerate it. So that's the thing I learned. So on some level, I really don't want to suffer and I try to choose, but on some levels, I get used to the physical. And I think partly for me, and I think that's normal just to get through life. Like you have a headache or you feel shitty, you got to be at work working, right? But I think too, there was a disconnect from my body because being overweight. So I just didn't feel things. And I think too, if you've had trauma at a young person, you learn to dissociate. So that is what I'm working on, and I feel, I don't even know if work it's what I'm exploring. Because what amazing that I'm in a position in my life that I have the time and the resources, and as scary as my brain is to me sometimes, I really do have an intellect and a curiosity that I can spend the time doing this. And so that's my antidote. And I have to believe in my heart that more people have compassion and love, working on themselves, try to radiate that and radiate non-judgment, and that has to make the world better. It has to. Like people are like, well, what are these monks walking? What does that do? I can't explain it, but there's no accident that is happening right now. So anyway, that's my thing. What's exciting, one of my jobs at work, work in a library, if anyone's new, is I do book displays. And it's an obsession. I love it so much. And normally, different people do it, but I've always kind of worked with people that never really like doing it. They're like, yeah, go do it. So right now I have one that is about cultures and different worlds. We're exploring the world through the library. It's kind of my antidote to Christmas. So I have all kinds of cookbooks and fiction, nonfiction, just everything, movies, and it's so exciting. And then the other one I just did is winter. So it has to have winter, snow, frozen, something like that in the title-ish. And I also have bread and soup books and comfort books. And then we have a random one that is just like librarian's choice, but I can't tell you the thrill I get when someone comes to check out and 3 of their books I put on display for them. And, I wish I could do all the research I'd like to do, but sometimes I choose books because there are too many on the shelf and it's tight. Sometimes it's by cover. Sometimes I do a little research and pull. So it fills my brain up. I just have such a love for it. So I'm so lucky that I get to do that. And then I rush over and I fill up the holes. And sometimes I'm really obsessed and I like them to look colorful, or, I can't always do that because for some reason, you guys, someone will come and put up the book and put it back and it's askewed. Just saying. But I'm just happy they picked up the book. So I run around all day straightening the library. It's important to me that the library looks nice. I think it sends a message that you're welcome here, that we're glad you're here. I mean, 10 minutes after children have been wild, you know, in the children's section, it takes a little bit more time. But I'm also naturally curious of what people have looked at. So, but there is somebody going around and putting books where they shouldn't be. But, you know, I can find them. I can look at a shelf. Like I was in the 900s. We were going to do a display about Muslims. Each month, you know, there's different themes. Like next week's Black History Month, and it's women's, that kind of thing. There's all kinds of things going on all the time. So, and this, I don't know a lot, but so I was over there kind of in the history looking at things, and there are 2 books that should not be there that are shelved. And I thought, and our staff doesn't do it. Like, okay, maybe I'm, it used to annoy the crap out of me, but now I'm like, okay, maybe there's something I should know about this. Or I get a minute to practice kindness and not be judgy. So anyway, I'm excited. I really, you know, being such a smart person and curious my whole life, my retention right now is just not there. And that's okay. I mean, I know how to get home. I know how to brush my teeth. But like, I read about different religions, and I just, you know, have somebody holding me like, you know, because, you know, Iranians are Persian. They're not Arabs. They're Muslim. So what's the difference between, you know, it's just very interesting to learn. And what does this mean? So I'm just educating myself and enjoying the names and just, yeah. So we haven't put it out yet, but I'm lucky. I get to learn all the time. And I learn from people all the time. You know, patrons sharing things and staff sharing things. And we're having a reading contest right now. Check your local library, because I'm going to guarantee you they're having a winter reading thing. I forget, it's like 22.5 hours of reading, something like that. But you get a little lanyard and a cute, you know, button and all kinds of fun stuff. But our children's librarian set something up for our staff, which is in the hallway. When people come in, they can see it, and we're penguins. I didn't really understand it, and I moved my penguin way down. Well, I had read 15 hours, I think, last week, but I had put down like I had read 50. Anyway, we got all that sorted out, and I've been working on my brain and reading. There's so many good things right now I want to read, and then I'm reading my Buddhist books, and I read probably a good hour a day at work, at lunch, picture books. And the cookbooks or other books, right? But I go, you know, sometimes I can't. Like right now, I'm trying to go outside. It's been nice, and take a 10-minute walk. You know, I'm going to get on my treadmill. But, you know, for me, the word walk is so important, because it's the physical side of my journey has always been hard, and there's fear involved in it. There's a lot that goes into it, and I'm going to work on that. But I'm going to, you know, it's rainy and cold. I'm very cold today. I don't know why. I'm not usually cold. But I'm going to get on my treadmill, and I'm going to walk with my monks. And I want this to be a day that doesn't ever go by that I don't walk for 10 minutes. And I also know this drug, the GLP-1, slows digestion, right? And it's a thing. It's a real thing. And I've been off it because you know, most of this is I want to feel good. And this drug just makes me not feel good. It's the truth. Now, everyone has different experiences. But I'm going to try walking. There's another monk I love on Instagram. I think of his name. I'll have to write it down. But he says, you know, one of the things to do is walk 10 minutes after you eat. Walk for 10 minutes. I can do that, right? Maybe at work, it's 5 o'clock, it's dark. I can't. But I usually, after I eat, I get up and I move around the library and straighten and do things like that. But I also, this has been going on this week, and this has been adding to my fear, and my right side has not been feeling good. And about 2 years ago, maybe, my right knee was really hurting, and I got a shot. And at that time, he's like, well, I'll send you for physical therapy. And I'm like, you know, I really have more trouble with my arm. This is pretty acute right now, but it's really my arm that has been bothering me. So we went that route, which was really smart on my part. But I think one, because I've been sleeping so much and been sitting so much, that my hip rotator thing, I don't know. I mean, I know it's all connected, but it was throbbing. I had to take Tylenol, and I had to eat, and I had to eat, take Tylenol. You know, it's just like everything's coming at you. And I thought I had to lay on the floor in my kitchen at work. I have a blanket and a pillow there and stretch. Didn't know what I was doing, but I just stretched till I saw. So there's something here right now that is calling my attention, and I'm listening. I'm not going to let this go 2 years, end up needing some surgery that I wouldn't have needed. So this is a big deal for me, and it's not that I don't want to do it. I literally don't think about it when I wake up in the morning. So I'm working today. Part of what I'm doing is I just started, a list, and I'm going to make like a master list for myself. And I've done this many times, but I'm going to really work on training my brain to follow it, right? Okay, I had to look at my niece's email or text. His name is Thomas Paul. So very biblical, right? That's so lovely. And now I saw pictures. He kind of looks, he's got his dad's coloring a little bit. Carrie is blonde, just her like my dad, like not my dad, like my brother, naturally blonde, and her husband Nick is kind of red hairish, fair. It's darker now. I'm probably sure he was a lot, so he's definitely gonna have some fairness to him. But you guys, what a world to be born in, right? How do you not try to find hope? And we're just not even talking about the world and other children who are not going to have what this child's going to have, but I'm not going to focus on that. Also, my Walmart is supposed to be delivered at 1, so I was checking to see if there's any substitutions, and I'm really proud of myself. I didn't order any meat because I'm going to eat up what's in my freezer, and at the end of the day, God forbid, I had to eat something, I can go in the store and get it. But anyway, I forgot where I was, and yeah, a lot going on, right? So I have to stay off Instagram, pretty much. And I was looking at some art stuff. I'm like, Tracy, what? So one of my gifts to myself today is to go and sit in my art space. And I signed up for this thing called Wanderlust, which I've talked about. And it was, you get a lesson a week. And that was last year, and you get it forever. So I am starting on it because I do think that, as my friend Mary, that it's so important to me to be creative. I mean, I'm creative in different ways, but to sit down is so meditative. And, there was a quote like creating helps you be yourself, right? And and I, like I said, I started just this, right? Just throwing paper and just, letting go. And I don't want to say I'm making art. I'm just playing, right? And see where it goes. And when you really can, and that's a form of meditation too. And when you can really get in that space, you forget about time, and you do meet yourself there. A self that is not called Tracy or looks like me or anything. It's just the pure self. So I hope everyone finds something in themselves, something that's peaceful for them. I mean, go to Dollar Tree, get a coloring book and crayons. And they have those cheap paints. I mean, some people just don't like it. My friend Robin, I swear to you, I said, were you ever a child? I can't imagine. But she does things in different ways, but she has no interest in that. So, but I like her anyway, mostly. So, but our libraries are closing on Sunday, but some are staying open. So I will go once a month to another library. And I was there just kind of getting acclimated and seeing where things are. And I just, I had to breathe through it because I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. These are simple things like setting up computers. I don't really understand it. My brain won't let me see the big picture, and I struggled. And I don't like that. And it's not a comfortable feeling, but I had no choice, right? And I thought about that, especially moving my body and joining the YMCA, that, I'm learning to tolerate that more. And that's a big step for me. And there's, I know of several incidences when I was growing up that I had scary things happen to me outside. So I can understand a little bit the root of it. And then of course being overweight, you felt, you know, like you had to be thin to go to the gym. And, you know, it's just such a... But let's go to GPL-1 for a minute. So I've been off it. I'm holding my own, not putting on weight. I am thinking about food more. And I was going to take my shot last night, but I thought, it can make me nauseous. Haven't had it in a while. So I thought, you know, we're just going to wait this weekend. If I feel like, oh my gosh, like if my list was all like carbohydrates and crap that are not going to make me feel good, I would take it. But yeah, it did okay. And I do think I will have to take some form of this my whole life, because there is literally something in my hormones and my brain, GPL-1, that malfunctions compared to other people. Right? And you know, I was going to do a whole long thing on the bullshit I put up with my whole life. Like cottage cheese is all the rage and it has protein, and I almost become physically ill thinking about it because I was forced to eat that. And my parents, well, my dad, he was more of a concern, but it wasn't like my mom was like, here, you have to. She wasn't like that. No, but she would do it with me, and it was all the rage, like the cabbage soup thing and this and that. And, you know, one time it was like you had cabbage soup, and you know what? You could have it all day. Anytime you wanted it. Yum, yum. But then you would have for breakfast dry toast, cottage cheese, and grapefruit. And the thought of cottage cheese, but I'm going to move past that a little bit, because a lot of, I saw this thing where you make pizza and you just put cottage cheese and you bake it and it becomes like this thing. So I don't know, maybe I will never love the taste of it and I can't get past it, but I couldn't sit down and eat it. Oh my God, Lord Almighty, I couldn't do that. But mixed in things, you know, because it adds all this good stuff. So just like too, one of the best things for you to eat are walnuts, and they're not my favorite, but you know what? I can have a handful of walnuts mixed in something. It's okay. I'm not the biggest nut person, but it's that walnuts and blueberries, you guys, it's like, boom, it's like a super thing. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm going to do the shot sometime this week. And what I'm going to commit to is doing it for 4 weeks in a row. So that's 4 shots, because I really want to move forward and get into this next size. I'm not worried that, oh, it's this size. I just need to have clothes that fit me, you know? And there's never going back because all that's gone. But, you know, and the pants I have right now are not terrible. One pair, my friend said, girl, please do not wear these pants again. And sometimes, like, my underwear will fall down too with it. And certain chairs I can't sit in because, like, I feel like my butt crack is showing. I'm getting, it's just crazy. But I can put up with it. It's just, yeah. So I'm excited about that. And then, you know, learning to really take care of yourself. I had a dental appointment. I had to cancel it because I was sick. So I'm going to make that. And then once I get that going and figure out like a plan, I need for sure I need 1 crown, and I probably need 2 implants, which I will spread out in the next few years. But I definitely want to do the crown, because if it's going to save from having to have an implant, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get my hearing tested. And I'm going to get hearing aids because they're much cheaper now. I have my nurse manager doing research for me. And I'm not vain. I don't care that something's in my ear. I never had those earbud things that people have, because a doctor told me once, they are horrible for you. That it's dragging all this radiation, and not to wear them. So I wear the old kind of wired up stuff. So I would assume that stuff, I don't know. You know, I have to look into that. But also with the short-term memory loss, I know that not hearing, now I can hear most people fine. It's a mid-range, and if somebody's a low talker and has a mask, forget it, or an accent, forget it. But some people literally can't raise their voice. They can't. So, but I would like to do the thing and take care of my hearing, right? So I'm going through body parts. Welcome to your 60s, right? Yeah, but it's really been challenging. And like right now, I could have made a dentist appointment this week. For whatever reason, I really couldn't do it. And I thought, okay, that's okay. You know, we'll regroup. Monday, I go to work. I have PT and I go to work. So sometimes when I have that, I'm a little better at doing things like that. So I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm going to work really hard at having calendars based on this is what you need to do Monday. So a good example is I had two big, I get an Amazon every month thing with like cat food, cat litter, that kind of thing. It's a huge box. So I put it out front so I could drive by and get it, because it's awkward and carrying up one set of stairs and down another. I'm very mindful of my arm. Okay, stop, because I got a text from Giant at Walmart. So I have one substitution, and these black beans, they're out of them. They're like Bush, or I don't know, one of those, and they have chipotle sauce. They're killer. I understand. Like I am gonna get, when they have them, like 5 to have. I can literally open it, put it in the microwave and eat it. It's that tasty and it's that healthy for you. And then I had a substitution. So as an homage to my mother for being a great grandmother, my mom would make cakes to celebrate stuff for me to take to work. So I have this really cool, very nice inherited heart bundt pan. So I am going to use that. I'm a little nervous about bundt things, but I read a bunch of stuff, so I kind of think I have it in my mind. But I'm doing chocolate raspberry, which is one of my favorites. And so the Bon Mon Mom, I needed seedless, is out of stock. So also that's kind of what I use all the time, is Bon Mon Mon raspberry, but they did another one, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm going to try and film that, and remember to film the whole thing, the ending and all that. But I'm excited about that. And then I am going to, some point this weekend, open a bottle of Asti Spumani, which is my favorite, and celebrate this new baby and all the ancestors, celebrate them who managed to live to get here. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm doing. And, I'm going to see how my side does walking and stretching. I'm on the floor just stretching, and I need to make that. I mean, Beverly's been after me for years. Was in a car accident. She's one of my dearest friends, but she's been in a car accident a long time ago, and she has to stretch every day. Like, that's what she does, and it's what keeps her going. So, and really, when I do start at the YMCA, I'm gonna work with a trainer for 3 or 4 sessions, and then do my thing and come back. I had saved money from a thing we get paid at work for, so I have $600-700 towards that, which I had never touched, and earmarked it just for this, and have them help me with a stretching routine. So I want something to stretch before and after, lifting weights and cardio and all that, and then I want one that I can do first thing in the morning and when I go to bed at night. So that is my first goal, right? And then my second one is going to be the weightlifting, and I'm going to be so slow, like a turtle. I mean, this is for the rest of my life I'm doing this. I just don't want to. It's on the GPL one, is sometimes impossible to eat. And then I have a small stomach anyway from my surgery. So it's challenging, and you're going to lose muscle, you're going to lose hair. And it's not that, you don't get food cue. You don't think, oh, well, I'm hungry. And, another thing too, if you're overweight, a lot of times your ghrelin malfunctions, and it never tells you that you're done being hungry, like you're satisfied. Where people who have a hard time eating, like just naturally, their leptin doesn't tell them to start eating, right? Saw this stuff, anyway, I'll go on a rant about all the fucking doctors I've had to deal with my whole life that exercise more, eat less. Yeah, okay. Wrong. Just like SnackWell cookies, fat-free, were good for you. Wrong. And eggs and butter were good, bad for you, and margarine is good. Bullshit. Sorry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous. I feel a little stuck in the mud right now, but I'm going to really push my way through and really kind of explore that uncomfortableness, because otherwise, how do I heal it and move past it, right? If I'm always kind of pushing it aside. And I know it's going to be the best thing for my mental health too. So that's what's going on there. And so it's a lot, but today my kitchen is a wreck. So I'm going to work on that, get my refrigerator cleared out. I did buy some fun stuff for taste tests for Mark and Sue, or on my own. So I do have that. I got fun things for that. One thing I got, you guys, there's a new Doritos for children. I did get one little bag. I am just, there's so much reaction to, I can't even think about the person in charge of our health right now in this country. So buyer beware, right? I mean, they just should be banned. I mean, how is there a healthy Dorito? I don't know if they sell those things in the UK. I don't know. I don't think so. There's a lot. Like my brother said, you can't find Mountain Dew. Well, there's a loss for humanity. That's his favorite. But, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to try them and see what's in them and let you guys know they're out there. I guess if you're going to eat Doritos, choose that one. But, you know, the last time I had Doritos, and I really hadn't had them in a while, and because of the drug and changing how I eat, I really, other than my coffee, really only put things that have fiber or protein in my body. I really have to think hard if there's something I want to eat that doesn't offer either one, because I can only eat so much and I cannot waste it on something that is not adding health to my body. Coffee is an exception. But I even only really drink half a cup now. I make a cup and drink the rest of it the next day. But I totally forgot. So anyway, these things I'm curious to try, and I'm gonna have like a limits, because before I would just get whatever, but now I'm gonna have limits. And yeah, but so I want this kitchen cleaned up, and I want my living room, looks like I've been nesting in there, which is exactly what I've been doing, is nesting. So yeah, and I got to think about, I have a turkey at work frozen. I couldn't fit it in mine. I think it's too big for my microwave, but a couple of you told me get bags. So I'm going to research all that, and then maybe next week just make a turkey and then eat off that, but then find recipes and film them and end up with a turkey soup or something. So I want to do that. And I also have, I'm pretty sure, corned beef frozen. It was such a cheap deal at the end last year that I can make that too. So yeah, so eating down my freezer, eating down those meats. And I'm down to like 3 frozen things at work from Trader Joe's to eat. So one was like a Cuban thing, and it just felt like too much for me right now. And the other one, I don't know what they are now, but yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. But I would like to go to Trader Joe's at least once every 2 weeks. I want to try their shrimp. Their Argentinian shrimp shows up on everything, and I'd like to do some like just quick stir fry stuff. So, but I have to have things that I can grab. Like these Reds burritos, which when I get them, I'll show you them. They have no bad ingredients and they're easy to cook, and you can just eat them as is or add a bunch of stuff to them. So the thing I learned from my nutritionist is I just have to have simple things, right? Don't overthink it. Get a rotisserie chicken, get food in your body, right? So that's what I'm going on with. And yeah. And I will, I don't know, like, you know, the theme on my channel is me. So I don't know, you know, someone's like, well, if you just did this and this, you'd get more followers. And I said, I don't think I'm here for more followers. I'm here to share my life in the hopes that I touch one person. That's everything, you know, that I'm a blessing to people or a lesson. Depends on the day. But, you know, I do want to show you doing my art, and or you can be creative and not, you know, just for the sake of being creative. So many people out here say, I'm not an artist. It's like, okay, that's not the point. It's not the point. Who cares? So you can play, you can have color. Most of us, minus Robin, enjoyed that as a kid. I cannot tell you how obsessed I was with paper dolls. I want to do a line of my own paper dolls. I don't know what that's going to look like. It might be Stickmen, but there's something I'm really drawn to. So again, with ADHD, I have so many amazing ideas, like so many things I want to do and try, and then to write them down and to focus, right? I do want to train myself to finish some things. And I also know some things are just going to be play and exploration and don't need to go anywhere. Right? But so I'm limiting my TV time, and there's tons of stuff going on in the true crime world. But what I have come to understand too is when you're not going into court or there aren't hearings, there's a lot of blah, blah about actually telling stories, right? And conjecture and, you know, thinking out loud. And I don't find that I enjoy that so much. So, and if I'm going to read an hour a day, I'm going to meditate. I am going to stretch, walk, create, read. It's a lot. So I'm not going to have time for all that nonsense. So, but I hope you have time for my nonsense. So yeah, so that's what's going on. And I might just do a little video showing you the journals I have right now that I'm working in. I do want to share with you, I did get this, my glasses need cleaning. You guys, I haven't told Beverly this because she will nag me, and I want to do this on my own. So I got a piece of paper. It's somewhere here. This has been covered. This is the best it looks. Is this it? My driver's license expires on my birthday, the 28th. We are now in that month. I could have gone to my iPlace and have them sent that in, but I decided that I just want to go ahead and get a picture of where I'm at right now. And like I said, my goal was 220, which is what it says on my driver's license, which I'm pretty much at. So I'm going to go this Friday, get up and be there early and get my picture taken, get my new license. So instead of just using the same picture, it's sad because my friend Angela, who I lost, my older friend, she was with me the last time, which was the first time I went without my mother. And Angela went with me last time. I'm going to go by myself because I'm a grown-up, apparently, and get that done. Yeah, so, I got stuff like that is really not negotiable. So, yeah. And you can get it now that your, your driver's license is, you can take a picture of it. It will be in your phone, which is really cool, and it's legitimate because we're taking them at the library. So get that done. So that's an important thing. And as I head to my birthday and think of my new year coming up, I'm going to get my hair cut that day. And my friend Robin's going to come and bring me dinner. And I probably will take a tour of the YMCA that day. And Beverly gave me money for Christmas. So I'm going to get my nails done, my toenails, a pedicure. Just, things like that make me feel good and are important. So that's kind of where I am. So I got to make appointments to do all that kind of stuff. And yeah, but my new planner, I did get it to Temu, which I try not to do, but I love this. It looks like a paint by number. I love the size. And then what's important to me, we're all so different. I need this, right? So I can just look at it in a glance. But what I really want is a page a day. And this is this. So I'm getting all my appointments in and classes I'm taking and stuff in that today. I'm going to spend some time with that today. So I'm excited about it. And I have a little one I keep in my purse, like for PT, or I just write stuff down. And I've been very good this year about doing both, right? Because otherwise that doesn't work. And you make an appointment and it's not written down. So, all right, guys. So I have talked enough. And I feel better having talked. I feel a little more grounded. And of course, hearing from my niece and seeing pictures of the new soul in the world. Yeah. So we'll see how my heart-shaped cake goes. But honestly, my mother would be thrilled. Man, I think nobody on the staff now met my mother. Yeah. And they, the people who used to work in there, like, oh, we miss your mother's cooking. She was just so generous and such a good baker and stuff. But we'll see how this goes. But chocolate raspberry sounds kind of good. And so now we have, my nephew's born the 26th of December. Carrie, the 13th. I'm the 28th, and he's the 9th. All these lovely giant, except they're Capricorns, and I'm an Aquarian. But I have a Capricorn moon, which saves me. That's another discussion. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. And if you made it this long, I could think of 5 of you that might, and I appreciate it. And it's not the point. But I don't know. I would love to do a live where we could have a dialogue about stuff in real time. But yeah, so I just hope, you're taking care of yourself. And even if you're not thinking about things going on, I don't know how anyone's not affected. I don't know at this point. But to acknowledge it and take care of yourself, that's the best we can do. And sometimes doing that is our offering to the universe. I'm not a marcher or protester. I don't have tons of money to give to organizations. I usually give it to animal organizations. But yeah, whatever, writing letters, whatever, works for you. Going to, a place for older people and spending time with someone who's lonely. There's just so many ways that we can make a difference in the world to combat evil. So, all right, guys, take care. I will be on here again. I'm going to do my job of posting this while I'm having my lunch. And yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you and your time and your thoughts, and just honor you as people, right? Okay.